what do you have in your hand? Surplus may not be in quantity, but in potential. There should not be any situation that you find yourself that you cannot get out of. The reason why you look so incapacitated, look like there is nothing you can do, is because you are. I need you to pay attention to what I want to share with you. If you get this, you will be able to walk yourself out of any difficult situation. God told the man, Adam, that he is free to eat out of every tree in the garden, except for one tree. When the serpent came to tempt the woman, the serpent pointed the attention of the woman to that one tree that they were not free to eat of. There were many trees to eat from. How come he was pointing the attention to that one thing that they have been commanded not to eat from? Is the trick of the devil. He will point your attention to what is lacking, to what is scarce, what is not enough. And that has always been the method from the beginning of time. If God is going to reach out to you, he points your attention to what you have, even though it is small or insignificant. If the devil reaches out to you, he points your attention to what is scarce or what is lacking. Can you see now that it is always the reverse of what God does? God met Moses and asked him, what do you have in your hands? The woman in 2 Kings chapter 4, the prophet asked her, what do you have in the house? In every of those situations, it's always, what do you have? Sometimes those things look small, looks minute, looks insignificant. But see, surplus may not be in quantity, but in potential. That is, this is a seed and it has the capacity to yield plenty. So it does not matter whether it is much. If God sees that this one can be converted to multiple fruits, he points your attention to it. He wants to be conscious of it. But check, every time the enemy wants to get at you, it takes your attention away from what is plenty to what is scarce. You are very good with many things, but you see, the one you are not good at is one he keep telling you. You see, you are so weak, you are so small, you are so short, you are not good enough. Whereas you have 1,000 things you are good at. Is the trick of the enemy. He has always used it and it has always worked. He said, you may freely eat of every tree. Do you know that? Or do you notice that God never said that they should not eat of the tree of life? Of every tree of the garden, they may freely eat. He only said they should not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the serpents came and steered up their consciousness in the direction of the tree that they were told not to touch. The moment they ate of that tree, what happened? They lost their place and lost everything that they had access to. So the trick is this: take their attention from what is surplus to what is scarce, so that they can lose what is surplus. Shift their consciousness from what is abundant in their life to what is not enough, so that they can lose what is abundant in their lives. That's always the issue. Can you see now that there should not be any situation that you find yourself that you cannot get out of, or the reason why you look so incapacitated, look like there is nothing you can do, is because you are fixated on what is not working, on what is not enough, on what you can't do, whereas there are many things you can do. Look at Genesis 1 and verse 2. I hope you know that the earth was formless and void, darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was upon the face of the waters. Was not really a pathetic situation, so to speak, so you can feel like you are not feeling for God. Hey, yeah, God. Because everything changes the moment your perspective about your situation changes. So God didn't see it as a very difficult situation. He saw it as an opportunity to step in and create. Look at it. The many waters upon the face of the deep became an instrument in the hand of God. Even darkness became a tool of invention. So it is possible for someone to have seen the water and say, wow, it's so overwhelming. Whereas it could have been that, wow, what a tool to create. And you also know that this same principle, the powers, the nations of this world, they use this same principle. Why do you think that if USA is going to tell the story of Africa, it tells it in a way that portrays Africa as one that lacks security, that lacks good health, and lacks all of those good things? just to steal what Africa really has is the same old trick. So the devil steal, kill, and destroy. How he does that is that he shifts your consciousness, your attention from what you have to what you don't have. In fact, if it means that we'll go any length to sponsor or to push what is lacking, you now see that you begin to see it everywhere. This is what they lack. The idea is that I want to steal what you have. So you must learn to move from wrong nomenclature of situations. And if you can properly name a situation, you can get out of it. If you can learn to see that this is not scarcity, it is surplus. How can I get out of this? Because there is always a seed in every situation. Listen to me. There is never a time where without a seed. There has never been a time in your life where without a seed. And there will never be a time that you will be without a seed. To God, darkness was a seed. Thou plenty water was a seed of creation. So I ask you again, what do you have, Reeb? You will not need to start shifting your attention from what is scarce to what is abundance. What do you have in your house? You need to start from there. That way, the enemy will not be able to ground you anymore and think that you are really incapacitated and there is nothing you can do. There is always something you can do about the situation. God never borrowed anything out of that situation. Everything he used was within the situation. So shift your mind from scarcity thinking to abundant thinking. Shift your mind from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. That way, you'll be able to change any situation at all that you find yourself.